sit back, cause it's judging Silicon Valley.
Now, give it up for your hosts, Ryan and Jeff.
All right. Hello again, everybody. Welcome to Judging Silicon Valley. Of course, this is the show where we judge Mike Judge's show about the HBO show Silicon Valley. But we are in the middle of a hiatus here, so we're doing it the At the Movies special with Jeff and Ryan, and our very special guest for this episode, Les Milton, or Lester Milton, as he's known in some circles. Les, good to see you.
He's actually Lester Miltoner.
Lester Miltoner or Les Milton, that's right. Les is a very funny stand-up comedian performer in the San Francisco Bay Area, part of a very cool group or project called White Noise Radio, which I think you've actually launched. There's a new Facebook page for it. So you can check that out. There's old stuff. So this was 1990s, I believe.
And
is that correct?
Early 2000s.
1990s, early 2000s.
Got a website, a plug.
Yeah.
You want a quick plug?
I have nothing.
But it's cool stuff. They do like fake radio plays and things like that. It's very cool. You should check that out. Excited to have you here.
I like Les.
Indeed.
Most days.
Yeah.
On most days.
I've only wanted to punch him in the face once.
Yeah. He's only the best. Yeah, when he's doing character voices, his normal voice is very boring and probably putting you to sleep. So hopefully we'll get some of that. So we're going to jump in here with this installment of At the Movies. But first, a bit of a commiseration. Silicon Valley did not win at the Emmys this year. They were nominated.
It's very topical. I mean, it just happened like yesterday.
Well, that's true. That's true.
They also didn't win at the AVNs, which were just like yesterday.
Are you sure they didn't win? I don't know.
Yeah.
All right, that's okay.
The Emmys were yesterday?
No, they were not yet. That was the SAG Awards. They were not.
SAG.
But
The Golden Globes?
Golden
They
Globes
didn't win shit.
but they did get for American Film Institute. I've never heard of this before.
The top 10 shows or something like that. It wasn't like ranked, but it was like,
like notable shows
Yeah.
of
AFI is now doing notable shows.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but we'll take it. You know, that's good. I mean, the fact is they're getting nominated, so that's a good thing. It's good for nomination, and we're excited. Once again, April 17th will be episode 1 of season 2, so we're ramping up for that.
and by ramping up, we mean picking 2 more shitty movies.
Picking 2 more shitty movies, and hopefully the video that we shot in August will be done with editing by then. Probably not.
Probably not.
Probably not. And folks, it's not Citizen Kane. It's not a 2-hour movie.
We're sorry.
I have no idea why it's
that
taking
Les has
so
no
long.
context on this.
But it's very entertaining.
But when the video's released, I think it's kind of like, why did this take 6 months? Is going to be
Kind
the
of like
question.
when you just talked about the Emmys.
Exactly. I don't even remember the last time we did this, but all right. So there you go. I just want to get
November.
that note out there because we still are judging Silicon Valley, even though we haven't really talked about that show in months and months. So here we are at the movies. This installment is the 1995 cyberpunk pre-Matrix Keanu Reeves vehicle.
Post-Speed?
Post-Speed, 1 year. Speed was 1994. Johnny Mnemonic, that's right. So I think Jeff even posted this on the page there. It is available for free viewing on Crackle. I can't imagine why it's free. So if you
do
want
have to
you
sit
can
through
watch.
ads.
Yeah.
Or
the
ad
ads
block.
are boring. Or ad block, that's right. You got to do that.
Which I don't encourage,
No.
except when the movie's this bad.
boy,
Sorry,
boy.
spoiler.
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to jump in and I'm going to try my best to do a very quick synopsis. But, overall, I just want to say, compared to some of the other films that we've watched with the at the movies here, really interesting that we keep going back to 1995, by the way. Hackers, The Net, and Johnny Mnemonic, all 1995.
Because it was when
Really?
the net
Yeah.
was sort of becoming a thing.
It's really
I guess
weird.
so.
It's really, that year with a lot of these kind of movies. But I would say, actually, compared to those movies, Hackers is fun to laugh at. I wanted to like this movie. I wanted to like it. It's good source material.
This is a great synopsis so far.
Yeah, but I wanted to, but we're going to discuss why it didn't work. There was promise. But here's what it is. The film opens. Ready? Here we go. The year is 2021, all right? A lot of topical stuff here. There's corporations have taken control. Apparently because of that, New York is destroyed. Didn't understand that.
Because of the corporations.
Yeah. Keanu Reeves, in this year of 2021, they don't have file sharing or cloud technology, so the only way to share a file is to upload it into Keanu Reeves' brain, and send a fax beforehand. You do send a fax to confirm that Keanu Reeves is on the plane to Newark, New Jersey. This is all factual. So what's going on here is there's a revolution that wants to take back the power from the corporations. There's this disease that's affecting people. He actually has the cure in his head. There's a dolphin that knows how to do
He doesn't know it at the beginning.
Reality. He doesn't know it. That's your MacGuffin. We find that that's a lot of these movies is what is it? He doesn't know what's the Maltese Falcon in his head, and a virtual reality dolphin helps him. They release the cure, and the actual credits roll after a line from Ice-T, dressed as a raver. That's your movie.
A raper?
A raver.
Raver. My bad.
Yeah. That's your movie. That's Johnny Mnemonic. So that's my synopsis. I'm gonna just come right at you here, Les, of your overall take of this film.
The most shocking thing about this film was revealed in the end credits, that it was written by William Gibson.
That's right.
Yes.
Based on his short story.
Yes.
I was wondering, what team of nothings got together and quibbled for 2 years to make this just witless.
But the girl
Drek
has like a whole set of short stories about her.
Does she?
But not as the name in the movie. Like, I don't know
Because
if that's in your
that
Scrum
name-
Master's quiz.
That's
But
correct.
Was that name not testing well?
No.
they changed the character completely.
There was talk that character was going to have her own series of movies with a different studio. This is the decision by Sony. Now, William Gibson, we've actually brought up in this podcast several times.
Sure.
He's the preeminent cyberpunk. He coined the term cyberspace. An okay author.
Yeah.
He's
got. I think his good stuff is great. His good stuff is great.
The director was also artist, like exhibition artist or something.
And he made videos. He made music videos, I believe.
Yeah.
And it was his final film.
This was his first and last film.
Yes,
First
it
and
was.
last film. It cost, I believe, let's see, $25 million. Did we catch that?
I might have. There is a blip on the
Jeff
sound.
just shit his pants because he can't believe how much the budget was for Johnny Mnemonic. Johnny Mnemonic was $25 million. It was actually in adjusted is still pretty expensive.
Yeah.
It made $19 million in the U.S., so that's a bomb. But it made an additional $33 million in Japan. I'm going to talk to you about why it made money in Japan, but that's kind of interesting. Japan really liked this movie.
They changed the dialogue like entirely.
They did.
They?
Well, no, actually, the reason it made more money in Japan, it actually was adored in Japan. $33 million is a lot for Japan. Is the head of the Yakuza in the movie. You remember the head of the Yakuza?
Who's been in a couple of movies lately.
Yeah, he's a big star in Japan. His name is Takashi Kitano. He was in Zatoichi, the series there. He was recently in a movie called Outrage, which is cool. But here's the greatest part. He was in the original 1980s game show Takashi's Castle, which became the MXC Challenge. He's the Baron in MXC. So if you know the Baron who's like, all right, let's go, that's Takashi. So he's a big star in Japan, and that's why fucking Johnny Mnemonic made more money in Japan. Very strange. But there you go. I'm going to share that with you. Fun, right? Okay. Okay.
Fun facts.
So before we pick into this again, Les, is your first time here. I'm certainly curious about your take on this, Jeff. This has a lot to do with virtual reality. Okay. So I'm curious what your memories are about. Because, again, we're talking about all this in 95. That was supposed to be the thing. And then it went away. And now we have Oculus Rift, but that's decades later. But what do you recall about virtual reality?
Just that it was goggles and that maybe a glove.
Yeah,
maybe
Nintendo tried.
Yeah, they were trying. Yeah. So it was goggles and maybe a glove.
Which is exactly in the movie.
I would have described it. Was two gloves. and at one point he threatened... he was threatening someone's sight by doing this. Because he was showing him I could just do this with my hands on your sight. And so I thought it was, like you said, it was just a primitive version of what we have.
I did enjoy the Jurassic Park virtual reality. It was just like one step up from the Jurassic Park.
It is. And again, all of these movies
where it's like, there's the facts.
Yeah,
I got it.
Yeah,
I got it.
It's really strange. The facts, and what the facts is prominent in this year 2021. I don't understand.
No, fax is what was it? 85 to about late 90s that the fax was.
Yeah, but I think even in 95, it was clear the fax machine was on its way out.
Writing about 2021.
Yeah.
And can we also discuss the amount of information that was the limit that he could hold? Which in Keanu Reeves' case, okay, I can buy that.
There you go.
But in for the regular human, I don't think 320 gigabytes is really pushing it.
No, I don't think so.
No, but the other funny part is like, okay, he was going to get an upgrade, right? But I still thought it funny that Keanu Reeves had half the capacity of everyone else.
I know. Because he had really rich, vivid memories of his sixth birthday party.
That's right.
That's his prize at the end. Like, that was a fucking blast party. It's taking up most of his memory to remember that party.
Right. That was that was
it was
huge for
an
him.
ice cream cake. He got Optimus Prime. There was a lot going on. All right.
Optimus Prime's probably like 200 gigs right there.
Yeah.
The Saint.
That's true. That's actually actually my memory. But here's what I found interesting. It looks like you guys all did your research and very happy about that. But it seems foreshadowing here that Keanu's in this movie, and 4 years later he's
one
in
of the
Matrix,
two of them
much
gets to say they're huge in
of
Japan.
this movie, I suppose you could say.
It's not Val Kilmer.
He actually was not originally cast. They had cast the role, and that individual left very soon before filming because he was offered another role.
The Saint.
He was offered Batman Forever. It was Val Kilmer.
It was.
So do you think Val Kilmer made the right choice? It was kind of a lose-lose situation for his
Batman
career.
Forever or this.
Or Johnny Mnemonic.
I think Batman Forever was the right choice.
Well, so one of the two of them gets to say they're huge in Japan.
Yeah, well, that's a good point.
It's not Val Kilmer.
Val Kilmer. Well, technically, if you've seen the picture, he's pretty much huge everywhere.
He's taken a different attack in his later career than Keanu even.
It's true.
Keanu, who I've actually grown to have an affection for.
I think everyone has.
Isn't that interesting?
We were forgiving.
Because he was so during that time, I would say up until he was just even with the Matrix. I'm sorry, but part of the fun about the Matrix is that
he's an idiot.
The guy who's Neo,
he's an everyman though.
Yeah.
Oh,
in a way, right? It's just kind of like, I can relate to that guy. He's clearly an idiot, like the dude who lives next to me, like.
The one. And so even then, but lately he's just been kind of being cool. I don't know. Maybe he's just. But then again, I read an interview with him back in the '90s, and I didn't hate him anymore because he was just really. He knew he wasn't great.
Dude, you didn't like
did what he could.
Yeah, I think
he never had a huge ego.
He technically is like a master of martial arts.
That's the only reason I was going to say. That one scene in The Saint, the whole movie. In a way, right? It's just kind of like, I can relate to that guy because he's clearly an idiot, like the dude who lives next to me. Like,
yeah.
I can't think of a Val Kilmer movie.
Insane Val Kilmer. I'm just saying.
Because you don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
You have more Marlon Brando stories.
I'd force him to do quotes from Top Secret, just over and over and over.
Dude, you didn't like The Saint. No, that was funny.
I did like The Saint.
It wasn't supposed to be, but it was funny. That's the only reason I was going to say.
Really?
That one scene in The Saint, the whole movie.
Very hot. The Saint's fun. The different characters when he's
You need to be in a movie where you're not taking anything seriously. That's Val Kilmer's forte.
I'm tired. I just want to get the coffee. It's funny stuff.
I can't think of a Val Kilmer movie. If you take out Batman Forever, that's as bad as like this movie.
No, there's the one where he plays the blind artist.
No, that was funny.
But it wasn't supposed to be.
But it was
that was entertaining.
Yeah, that was his like Oscar try, where he's a blind artist, and it's just terrible because it's Val Kilmer. But, all right.
You need to be in a movie where you're not taking anything seriously. That's Val Kilmer's forte.
Yeah, absolutely.
So there you go. We're talking to this director, Robert Longo.
Yes.
Yeah. This was his first and last film. He had directed videos for New Order, Megadeth, and REM. New York, multimedia artist. Good try, Robert. Good try with
That's
this
where
movie.
David Fincher came from, that same kind of background.
He did.
Maybe they were
He did.
hoping.
Yeah. Oh, we can do the degrees of separation. David Fincher, first movie was Alien Part 3.
That's right.
And the first script treatment for Alien Part 3 was from William Gibson.
You are kidding me. Would she have called the alien Baldy? If that's enough from you, Baldy.
Yeah.
So
you read
that's
Wikipedia, which is the source
movie
of all
itself,
truth.
it's
William Gibson.
It
All
sounds like they
respect,
did,
but Baldy. Come on.
He's still alive. He is still alive.
No, I
We can
love
get
Vibe
this.
Check. I know
her character was a much
He is
more
still
prominent
alive.
role.
No, so the dialogue,
and
the script
the dolphin
itself,
was on
okay?
heroin, which
I
actually
can see
explains the
that,
whole
and I don't know if this. I've
VR
never
scene.
read the original short story, but it's trying to be like a hard-boiled detective film noir type thing. Would you agree?
Yeah,
You know,
I think it is trying.
In the right hands, that would have been cool.
Yeah.
That's where I'm saying, like, I
Well, and
kind of like it.
You read Wikipedia, which is the source of all truth.
It is a source of all truth. Yeah.
It sounds like they did vary quite a bit from the story. Just with
I don't
her
know.
character was a much more prominent role.
All right.
And the dolphin was on heroin, which actually explains the whole
That's kind of awesome.
VR scene.
That's kind of
And
awesome.
what conversation is that? Listen, William, we love it. Can't give the dolphin heroin. That's the one.
So,
we
can I
just-
explain
it's
the
little
heroin
tiny
part?
Yeah.
tank that's
'Cause it was-
obviously
it was
a
clearly
crap
really
for it,
relevant.
fine.
Yeah.
But heroin.
But
All I could
apparently,
think of
you know,
was a
the
strange
Navy, and
reference,
this
but when I
might be true
saw
or not,
that,
gives heroin to
like,
dolphins so
there's
they
a
become
fucking
dependent
dolphin
and they
in
can
the
use
Tiny
them
little
for their
tank.
Jones the dolphin.
The dolphins won't
is
wander
the
off. They need to come
South
back for
Park
the heroin.
episode where they
Which he was
discovered
an
a tank of
ex-Navy dolphin
manatees
that had
pushed
these
balls
experiments
with
run on
words
him,
into
and
holes,
thus
and that's
he
how
needs the
Family Guy
heroin to stay
episodes are
alive
written.
because he's so
I'm
addicted.
like, that's what's
And-
happening. That dolphin is writing a Family Guy script. What's happening?
So can I explain the heroin part?
Yeah, please.
Because it was clearly really relevant. But
Yeah.
apparently, you know, the Navy, and this might be true or not, gives heroin to dolphins so they become dependent and they can use them for their experiments. Like the dolphins won't wander off; they need to come back for the
They
heroin.
need to come
I
back
would
for the
believe
heroin.
that.
Which
makes
he was an ex-Navy dolphin
Okay.
that had
That's
these
right.
experiments run on him, and thus he needs the heroin to stay alive because
Maybe-
he's so addicted. And
And where else are you going to get it but from iced tea in the future?
well, a floating city underneath, was it the Brooklyn Bridge or the
yes, the Brooklyn
Yeah.
Bridge. That's correct. Yeah.
in a tiny tank where you can't move.
They were
Clearly.
They were the low techs. Is that what they're?
They were the low techs with the fucking dolphin hooked
Yeah,
up to the Matrix.
exactly.
They're the good guys. And they have the dolphin hooked up to the Matrix.
But
with
how are they
iced
low
tea.
tech?
I don't know.
Crossbows.
It's
Crossbows.
just terrible that Ice-T's character's name is J-Bone. Like you're not really. Come on, you know. And here's a quick note. Here's a quick note about the low-techs and their hangout underneath the Brooklyn Bridge, Jeff. This is now, I looked at it, this is the fourth movie. The fourth movie, I believe. Third movie. Hackers, Solar Babies, and now Johnny Mnemonic, where it's the same hangout from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. That's where they are, where there's video games and Christmas lights hung up, and everyone's on roller skates and has goggles on. It's the same
style of it-
It's the same hangout again.
Yeah, the style of it seemed much more like late '80s than mid. I could understand as far as bad movie sci-fi art direction goes. It really felt like something was from like mid to late '80s. Then something. I mean, the film stock and some of the lighting felt mid '90s-y, but so much of that design with the just.
It's the same thing with Hackers as well. And there's other movies like this where that mid '90s vision of the near future is. Why are people dressed like that? That makes absolutely no sense.
Yeah,
That just because
absolutely.
20 years have passed, wearing chainmail and steam goggles. Why is that happening?
She had a chainmail halvesy on, didn't she? Kind of tube top chainmail.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
To
I don't
protect
understand
her
it.
The
breasts.
only important box.
The only important.
The chainmail was to protect her breasts.
Dina Meyer.
Yeah.
Dina Meyer.
Is that Dina Meyer?
Dina Meyer was she was
still
jack-off
around,
material.
too.
She was jack-off material to me because she was Dizzy in Starship Troopers,
Yes.
and she gets topless.
Oh, in the shower with the men.
Yes.
Yes, also, and then she has sex with Johnny Rico.
Ah.
Yeah. And so this was her first movie. So Dina Meyer's is kind of hot.
Yeah, absolutely. She's
a
beautiful.
terrible actress. That's some of the worst acting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's another thing. That's another through point is that I don't know if it was not rehearsed or if nobody talked before they did the scene.
Yeah.
But even, I mean, you can't even include Keanu in this. But all the acting is just very, I mean, maybe they were doing the best they could with the dialogue.
I think maybe they were trying to be cartoonish, like it was this detective film noir feel. But it was just in the wrong hand.
Yeah.
The wrong hand.
Yeah.
Also, I just want to say in that hangout, in the entire movie, CRT TVs. Once again, CRT TVs.
Yeah, hilarious.
We were speaking of weapons.
Awesome.
I don't know if you have it on your list.
Well, okay.
But the rope,
The
laser
garrote
thing.
The laser garage. Yeah.
That's on his finger.
Yeah.
Why?
Because he lost a finger. He had to chop it off of the Yakuza. You're turning your dishonor into an advantage, right?
But then he loses it again at the end of the movie.
Oh, yeah.
And that's how he dies.
Yeah, he lost it because of his own. That would be a hard thing to...
But why? He's the only guy on
you
the planet
practice
that
with
has
that.
laser
Yeah,
technology.
that's right.
Why is he the only guy
But
who
you
has
practice with that, and you'd think, like, if you just the first try when you singe the other finger, you'd be like,
Yeah.
this might not be the best place for this.
that?
Yeah, right there at the finger. That's true.
Why don't all of his henchmen have
it?
Or
does he have
something
the Wizard
similar.
One?
Because you would think that any...
And,
Yeah.
so, I'm going off on a rant.
I don't
Go
know.
for it.
It's good.
They capture Keanu really early, right, at the bar?
That's right.
And he's there with the fucking laser thing. They get trapped behind a chain link fence. And then he's like, we're stuck with my laser finger.
There was only a way I could cut through this chain link with some
prior to
kind
that-
of beam.
And with Keanu on the thing, as he's getting his thing on, first he puts on his surgical mask. Remember?
Yeah.
He's the only one to have
Yeah.
a surgical mask. Why did he have to put on a surgical mask before he's going to take out his laser and just, like a hot knife through butter, just go shit down?
If there's one thing that guy knows, it's sanitation.
Yeah, that's the thing. Maybe that's how he got.
It is.
Where he got in the Yakuza.
It's a $25 million budget.
Yeah.
And in the big climactic battle scene at the end, the agents of the corporation are storming heaven, which is under the Brooklyn Bridge. If you notice, they're all just wearing like skate pads and shop goggles.
And and bike
they're really
helmets,
like the
kind
shop
of. Yeah,
goggles. Like this is the shock troops.
Because they know they're going against the low-techs. Why bother getting the rest of your gear
I'm
on?
not suiting up. Not for the low techs.
Yeah. They were having an office competition, like whoever can make the dumbest stormtrooper gear for this mission, pizza party.
Hey, Pete, I dare you to wear that shit on this mission.
It's the low techs. What? Are you not going to waste that on the low techs?
Yeah. Fucking boss, he's got a laser wire and won't share it with anybody.
You mentioned the climax. There was a moment. Help me. Maybe I just blanked out. Right.
All right, probably.
So the guys come up. I remember they kill the guy falls against the thing and the car falls down on one of the agents who goes no. And then some woman who I have not seen before. Had we?
With
we had
the
seen her,
bazooka?
Goes, no, you motherfuckers! And then she just starts doing the as if we were to understand their relationship somehow.
And she's a white woman with like a soccer mom haircut.
Exactly.
Like, who are you?
Who are you? She
Why
didn't
are you
have the
hanging out with
padding.
the
And you're like, you motherfucker! Who are you?
And her bazooka fires like four missiles.
And she's just because they killed that guy you don't know.
It's true.
I had that freak me out. Who did I thought
boy.
I'd fallen asleep at some point, and then there she was, and then she got an arrow in the mouth.
Yep.
Arrow in the mouth for soccer
From the
mom.
good guys who keep a dolphin on heroin in a very small tank that it can't turn
tiniest
around
tank,
in.
yeah.
Can't turn around in the tank.
Payback time.
Before the, I think it's right before the big battle scene is, in my opinion, the best monologue, not only in the movie, but the best monologue of Keanu's career.
It's the most he's chosen to speak.
The room service
since
speech.
that time. Yes.
The room service speech
Yes.
on the pile of trash. Do you recall the room service speech?
Not word. I just know that he wants the nice shirts.
Yep.
He wants nice things.
He wants the 10,000 a night hooker.
This was the revealing character. Oh, he's just a loner. No.
Yeah.
We find out at the end it's because he's a spoiled little bitch.
He's from a rich
Yes.
family.
That's why he wants all. That's the one thing he remembers.
That sixth birthday party is like
Yes.
the mansion.
Exactly.
Optimus Prime. 2 Optimus Primes he got.
And that's why he needs these good things. That's why he cares about himself, because he was raised very privileged, very rich, but yeah, he went
Apparently,
on.
that's
And
one
you know
thing
what?
you never
I
I
forget.
have
Yeah.
to say, it wasn't a terrible performance on his part. He was, in terms of Keanu Reeves' range, he was well committed, and he had a little plop on the seat, and then he finished the line so that there had been a little thought, I thought, went into it.
Yeah, but he kind of has the same problem I have with like Bill Pullman, like
Sure,
the president
sure.
in Independence Day, where the anger isn't angry enough. It's like being angry but knowing your grandma's asleep in the other room while you're videotaping yourself. Like, I want the club sandwich.
Right.
I want room service. I want the 10,000 a night hooker. Shh, Grammy's asleep. Like, what are you doing? You're on a pile of trash. Shout.
Yeah, and it felt very much like an obvious. We've got to let them know who this character is. This is where we're going to show the audience who this guy really is, what he really cares about. We're going to give him this chance to really let us know. Okay, Keanu, you ready? Yeah.
And action.
All right. It's what I want.
Okay, cut, Keanu. All right. It's not the line. Just say, I want the club sandwich. I want the club sandwich. I'm really angry, okay? Let's go back to one.
Oh, I'm sorry.
And action.
Sorry, bro.
I want things.
No, cut. All right. 75 takes.
Sorry.
75 takes.
Sorry.
75 takes.
People will love me in 20 years.
All right.
I want a tuna sandwich. Keanu, that's offensive to the dolphin.
So here's another thing from the research here, is Sony was very proud of this release. They were. They put a lot of money into it in addition to the $25 million. This was the first time that Sony, as a studio, he's thinking a punchline's coming, but the actual truth is funnier than the punchline. They released through Columbia Records, which they own, the soundtrack, and the CD-ROM game, Johnny Mnemonic, on, what was it called?
Sega CD?
ImageWorks. ImageWorks owned by Sony.
For your PC.
That's right.
Yep.
And they released all three on the same day.
Wow.
Which was a first. They were trying this multimedia approach.
Because it's the future.
Again,
They did nail it. Like, to get them all out on the same day.
That's pretty good. Yeah, that's pretty good.
Yeah. That's a good
Just
point.
didn't go as planned.
So I'm going to ask you, Jeff, do you know of the Johnny Mnemonic CD-ROM?
No.
No. Damn it. Does anyone know of the Johnny Mnemonic CD-ROM?
Oh, that would be
Say,
great.
Can it be played?
1995 is a little early for CDs,
For CD-ROMs.
for CD gaming and all computers,
Yeah.
too. So that probably was a mistake.
Yeah.
It was on the border.
I wonder what it's like.
Oh.
I wonder what it's like. Click A to give Johnny his club sandwich.
Yeah, like an adventure game.
Oh, my God.
You think it's puzzles? Or
Where's
maybe it's
the-
like Zork. It's just text. Like, this is kind of fun but terrible, and I want to kill myself.
Now, the PlayStation wasn't out in 95. It was 96, wasn't it? The first PlayStation? Was it 97?
I think that was even a
It's
quiz
right
question.
around
I don't
there.
know.
Right around there. Okay.
Late.
Okay.
Well, they developed it for Sega CD. It was never released.
oh.
Because when they
Nintendo's
realized
never
this made
released.
no money, they stopped it.
Nintendo 64 was around 94.
Okay.
So then PlayStation was right around there, too. It was like right in that window.
Mid-90s.
95. It's that magic year.
Funny that Sony
Wow.
had the PlayStation coming and didn't just hold the release of the movie to coincide with this.
So is there an alternate reality where there's a Johnny Mnemonic PlayStation game, and at this point now in 2015, there's like Johnny Mnemonic 16, like Final Fantasy, like
No.
it's the most popular game.
There's no
in the world.
alternate reality. But I can't imagine them doing like a game where you need a power glove and you need to just reach in and get the facts. It's like
get
a
the
skill-based
facts.
dexterity
Get the
game
facts.
where you have to grab the facts.
So that it can then
Yeah.
come out of the machine.
That's all it is.
Like the stupid arcade games where with the
Right,
claw,
right.
right? But it's just that. And you're like, oh, fuck. Put in another quarter in the arcade.
That's
Fuck.
basically the best analogy for this movie.
Yeah.
Are those claw grab machines?
And it
Like,
keeps
this is
moving.
impossible and it's a waste of money. Yeah. Okay. Well.
So it sounds like you enjoyed it.
Oh, we haven't even talked about Dolph yet.
oh shit, we haven't. Dolph Lundgren.
God, who I actually
Yeah.
what an awful role, but he was in it. He
I
was
don't
into
even
it. He
remember
was
him
trying.
being in it.
He's the
cybernetic
street preacher.
street preacher was his
who's hired by the
I
Yakuza
knew
boss.
I recognized that fucking guy.
Yeah.
It's like, why is he even in the movie? I mean, Henry Rollins is in it. Ice-T is in it. Doesn't make
Henry Rollins
sense.
is in it. Was that the beginning and end of Henry Rollins' acting career?
No,
Or-
he, that same year,
I heard he
was-
does spoken word.
He's everyone's
Poetry.
favorite lovable
Oh, yes,
asshole
poetry.
who now has a show on History Channel.
It's called I'm Sorry
H2.
for What I
Yeah,
Said.
Yeah. He's a Twitter asshole and all that. No, 95 is for some
Shocker.
reason like the Henry Rollins band got big. He was in Heat. He had a bit part.
Did
in
he?
With the Michael Mann
Oh, because
movie.
he's really awful. I mean,
he shared
he's not an
screen
actor.
time with Pacino and De Niro.
Holy
Stop
shit!
talking
And I
about
can't say that. I can't say that I shared time with Pacino and De Niro. So who am I to say that Henry Rollins is not an actor? I shouldn't even be saying that. All respect,
that's true.
Henry.
He is an actor.
He is an actor.
And he did get killed by Dolph.
Dolph killed him.
Dolph killed him.
Yeah.
Which also puts him in the upper echelon of actors.
That's kind of true.
But earlier, Henry Rollins drives over Dolph Lundgren with his van.
Right. That's right. And when asked what was that, his response is, "You don't want to know."
Yeah.
Which, when you do hit a person in the street, that's the proper. What did you hit? You don't want to know.
Don't ask, don't tell.
ask.
I think if you did a supercut of just Henry Rollins and Dolph Lundgren scenes, it would be one of the funniest, like Tom and Jerry episodes, like Itchy and Scratchy episodes.
And he was a medical doctor as well in this
Whatever
movie.
he was,
the
yeah.
fact that the Yakuza guy or whatever approaches him in the church or chapel, whatever fucking
Right.
thing he was in, and it just felt to me like, all the preachers are like this. I just picked this one because he happened to be the closest one, and he's like,
I need to get me a preacher and fast. Kill this guy.
Why?
It didn't even sound like you kill people. I need you to kill people.
Right.
It's just like, by the way, I need someone killed, and he's like, I'm game.
So
I will break him.
In that scene, now this is where I am lifting this directly
Which
from
scene?
Wikipedia.
That chapel?
Okay.
Scene?
No, this is when they're on the video CRTV
Okay.
phone where they're just using TVs to talk to each
Yes.
other. They don't even explain how it works. But the Yakuza, the guy from Takashi's Castle, this is from, I didn't know this, but once I read it, I watched the scene like, yeah, that's true. He says, Dolph, don't let me down. And it's in the movie. It's in the movie. Which is, again, $25 million. They're not going to reshoot that?
Oh
don't call him
my god!
Dolph.
They didn't even notice.
Yeah.
Maybe he said Dole.
Yeah.
Dole.
No.
Don't. No.
Dolph.
Trying to give him benefit of the doubt.
Yeah. All right. We're doing good on time here, so I think we're gonna move into the Scrum Masters quiz. But as Jeff knows, we do a closing rating on this of mean jerk time, as well as a snack dick rating. I'll let Jeff take it from there.
So mean jerk time is how long before you thought to yourself, I'd rather be jerking it than continue watching this movie.
Wow.
Or you were excited.
Yeah.
So it can
like
be
Dina
either
Meyer's
way.
naked, right?
Yeah, that can be either way,
Yeah.
The snack dicks is just 1 out of 5.
Rating
Flaccidity, erection is also taken
These
into
are
account.
references
That's
from the
like-
Silicon Valley show.
Yes.
So-
Oh, okay.
So for me, the mean jerk time was actually like 30 minutes. I was like, actually, where's this going? And then when the fax machine came up for like the 15th time, I was kind of like over it, and I whipped out the laptop.
30 minutes is probably that's the longest rating you've given any.
Wow.
thus
Yeah, it
far.
is.
That's
Wow,
pretty good.
'cause you were
Usually
intrigued.
Like 45 seconds with Jeff. That was 30 minutes. Wow.
Well, to be fair to hackers, Angelina Jolie accelerated the mean jerk time for different reasons.
That's true. That's true. That's
so-
true. Yeah.
And I would
makes
give
sense.
it like 2.5 flaccid snack dicks out of 5.
Flaccid. Okay. 2.5. That's.
Yeah.
Is it the tip or the shaft and ball?
Semi-flaccid.
Okay. But of the half, are we talking like a severed tip or the base?
We're talking like a laser
I didn't know this was the kind of
laser
thing.
garroted.
flaccid snack dick.
Okay, would be
2.5 of them.
disgusting.
Okay. So like still some skin it's hanging on?
Yeah.
All right.
And the laser is still there.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Okay. All right. Well, Les, what do you think here? Your mean jerk
I
time?
didn't know about your ratings, so I
That's
masturbated just prior to watching
Oh, you
it.
did. You emptied
So
the chamber.
I'd give it like an hour.
yeah, that's fair.
Is that just how you normally watch a film, or
I can't concentrate
know what was
unless.
gonna happen?
Went to go see
Unless-
Avengers in IMAX. Had to go to the bathroom to
Yeah.
jerk it, so I didn't think about
Yeah.
jerking it during the fucking.
yeah?
No, I don't masturbate.
Okay, all right. He's looking directly into the camera. All right.
Yeah.
That's
It's a little
creepy.
intense.
That's really creepy. And then you you stroked the
I
microphone
did.
as soon as you said that.
Talking about this whole time, and I've been considering it.
That's right. We're family friendly here on Judging in Silicon Valley.
And then snack dicks.
a rating. It can be as many.
Hey,
as
I'm
you
sorry. I apologize. You're really, really not even just for me, but for a lot of people. You're going to have to explain this again. What is this? Help me again.
Make
He
up
wants
a
it
number
again.
between 1 and a billion.
Uh-huh.
Yep.
And that's
That's the snack dick rating.
Yep. A snack dick, again, is a reference from the Silicon Valley show.
And I'm trying to remember the joke.
This is the Pied Piper logo. It looks like he's holding a dick, and then he's got one behind his ear like a snack dick for later. It's one of our favorite lines, and we're using it as a rating system because we're children.
Okay. No. Had I known that, I would have immediately given it an even 100.
An even 100?
Yeah. There you go. 100 snack dicks.
Out of,
you can't just
give
a
billion?
Whatever number
I'll give it out of a billion.
100 out of a billion.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Yeah. That's terrifying. All right. Okay.
It's a lot of snack dick to eat.
All right. Well, I'm going to give you, for me, my mean jerk time was immediate. Because there is a scrawling dialogue explaining, which is exactly how Solar Babies begins. And I thought for a second I was watching the wrong movie, and I'm like, oh no, not Solar Babies again, and I just started masturbating. As far as snack dicks are concerned, I will give it 1 snack dick and 1 dolphin dick rating.
Oh, very nice.
Both out of 0.
You guys at home will need to Google which one's bigger.
Yeah.
Yes.
A snack dick or a dolphin dick.
That's right. That's right.
Please do enter the query into Google. Which is bigger, a dolphin dick or a snack dick?
I'm really curious. Why Les Milton's face comes up on that search result. Don't know why you search optimize
with
your face.
Big smile.
That particular question. Okay, everybody, here we go. We're going to play the Scrum Masters quiz at the Movies edition. This, of course, is for Johnny Mnemonic.
Now,
okay.
I have to stop you also, and I don't know if this is right for me to do or if it's a dick move.
It is a dick move.
Okay. But I think it's pronounced mnemonic.
What am I saying?
Mnemonic.
I would say mnemonic.
Mnemonic.
Mnemonic is correct.
Mnemonic.
Being, of course, is a memory device.
Yes, exactly.
Like Roy G. Biv would be a mnemonic.
That's a mnemonic,
okay,
exactly.
Gotcha. Mnemonic.
Mnemonic. That's just maybe it could be mnemonic.
Okay, well, guess what? You're never coming back to the show, asshole.
I deserved that.
Okay, here we go.
It's mostly because we're about 2 episodes away from cancellation.
That's it, yeah.
On the internet. This is where you can't actually cancel something.
But somehow this show's about to be canceled. We can't figure out why. Okay, so here we go. There's Scrum Masters quiz, as you know.
There you go.
I'm going to read the question. We'll go down the line here. Les, then Jeff, your best guess. The dumber the answer, the better. And then we'll see if we can score some points. Question number 1. Of course, the star of this film is Keanu Reeves. Now, Keanu has actually mentioned this in some interviews, and it's actually a known Hawaiian name. The name is from the Hawaiian language. What does the name Keanu mean?
In Hawaiian?
In Hawaiian? Yeah. It's a Hawaiian name.
It's a Hawaiian name.
Yeah, so what does it mean in English?
I see. In English.
What's the English translation of Keanu?
This is going to sound weird because Hawaiian's like an older language, right?
It is.
It's a few thousand years old or something, right? But Keanu actually means master of the facts. Yes.
Master of the facts.
Yes.
So this was like pre-King Kamehameha.
Yeah.
And so before Captain Cook arrived on shore.
Yeah.
And he noticed topless women.
Yeah.
And fax machines. Which is really
fax
strange.
machines. They just saw a guy, Keanu,
Okay.
after Cook learned the language before getting killed.
Yeah.
He's like, what does your name mean? And one guy's like, I am the climber of pineapple trees, right? That's what Komosi means, right? And Keanu, what's that name mean? Master of facts. And he's like, what the fuck's that? And like Keanu's like, I don't fucking know either. Yeah. But in like 300 years,
the word had a meaning.
You'll look at me and be like, God damn.
Oh, okay. Wow.
They were prepping for the future, man.
I thought it was a common Hawaiian saying, like that you would respond with the word Keanu.
Okay.
If someone said something like, "Are you going to finish that?"
Like, "Hey, brah."
Oh, yeah.
Hey, brah. You going to finish that, brah?
And the feeling is like, I don't care if you want, sure. And so you say Keanu.
Yeah. So it's basically
that's
an expression of apathy.
Yeah, I think that's pretty much Keanu.
Keanu,
which is weird because I would say that's probably his acting style.
I think
that was the casting
back
director.
then. It really was.
There was a big argument about casting, and everyone's like, "Who are we going to put this?"
Yeah,
Keanu.
Yeah, Keanu.
And they didn't realize there was a dude named Keanu Reeves before they could stop it.
Can we get someone who can act like the feeling you get reading a Ziggy cartoon? All right. Okay. Well, those are all good guesses. Those are good guesses, gentlemen. Now, some people say that the translation in English is "cool breeze over the mountains." Some people say that. But, of course, the real answer is, of course, Keanu means Ted Theodore Logan, and Reeves means Bill S. Preston, Esquire. Wild styling.
That was not nearly as funny as the rest of my answers. And you prepared.
I'm just saying it's the right answer. That's what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. Okay, so we're all tied up there, 0-0. Question number 2 in the Scrum Master's quiz. Here we go. All right.
I think that's 1-1. I'm going to give it 1-1.
Well, you're still tied, so that's still not a winner. All right. When was the concept and or the term of virtual reality, I think it's important, the concept as well, when was that first mentioned or coined?
Virtual reality.
So I'm going to give you here, I'm looking for a year. Virtual reality. I'm looking for a year, but I'll give bonus points if you tell me exactly who said it.
Jamiroquai?
I was about to.
Yeah, that's virtual insanity. That's it's a little different than reality.
But not many people knew that. But when he was writing the song, it was about virtual reality.
Right.
And some guy, like in his posse, was like, "That's not a thing, dude."
Yeah.
And he's like, "Fine, I'll fucking change the word to insanity."
Interesting. Interesting.
That whole fucking set actually makes a lot more sense when you think of it as virtual reality.
Yeah,
And just picture a fax machine inside of it, and then you're good.
There you go. Okay, that's probable.
Sorry, I stole your.
That's
thing.
probable. All right, I don't know. Les, what do you think?
It's actually it's from the early '50s, and it was first mentioned in the gossip columns in Hollywood in reference to Rock Hudson's marriage. Okay. And so it's
virtual reality.
Yeah, it's like something it's real, but it's not real. Because he enjoyed penises more
he did.
than he enjoyed vaginas.
Wham's heterosexuality.
Each their own.
Wham's heterosexuality.
Yeah.
Virtual reality.
Yeah.
Okay. Oh, I like that. I like that. Now, some people say, let me see if I can get this all out here. Some people say this was coined in the June 1935 issue of Wonder Stories.
Really?
Named Stanley Weinbaum. It was one of those sci-fi, magazines. This was called Pygmalion's Spectacles. It was about basically virtual reality. It was termed virtual reality. Some people think that.
Some people.
The real answer here is, you were kind of along with me on this one. The real answer, it actually happened in September of 2007.
Wait, how is 1950 2007?
What's that?
Whatever.
I don't know.
It actually happened.
Math is hard.
September 2007. It actually happened in September 2007. This is how the producers were pitching what exactly Keeping Up the Kardashians is. So that was kind of a long.
Still not as funny as either of our answers.
Okay, well, it's funny because we're still all tied up. I don't know who that is. Still all tied up. So we're going in here for the final question. This is the tiebreaker. Oh, boy.
You just want to read your shitty answer first? Because then we'll end on a high
Well,
note.
as you know, the third one is actually, I don't have a joke here. This one's going to go deep here.
Much like the other two.
This is the Price is Right closest to wins, okay? Quit looking over here. Jeff always immediately looks over.
I can't read it because your handwriting is so terrible.
I know, I do that on purpose. Okay, so as we know, this movie was based on virtual reality. We kind of talked about this already in '95. There's a lot about this. Actually, in the '90s themselves, there was a lot about virtual reality. That kind of went away. We'll see if that comes back now. I don't think so. I think we played that out. But in the 1990s, how many, closest to wins, how many movies have virtual reality central to the plot? So you have all the way from 1990 to the year 1999. How many movies? Bonus points, of course, if you can give me names.
1990 to 99, how many have virtual reality?
These were big movies, some of them bigger than others.
All right.
He's thinking, see, he's going to have a much...
4.
Going with 4.
I'm going with Big Trouble in Little China.
Already? Okay. All right.
I'm going with Speed.
Speed, really?
Yeah.
Didn't know that was...
The better of the Keanu Reeves virtual reality movies. Because that bus was fake. That bus was so fake.
I didn't know the whole thing was virtual. He was in virtual reality.
He was in a virtual reality machine.
When is that? Was that a director's cut? I didn't know.
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Turtles in Time?
Yeah, Turtles in Time.
Is that in Keanu Reeves?
Are you even questioning me on Turtles in Time? Come on. And
You're
I'm going to go
right.
with Mortal Kombat.
And Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
Weird, but okay. All right. So, okay. going with that. I think that was actually more than 4 than you listed.
No, that was
but,
4.
right, okay.
But, math is hard, as we proved on the last question.
It is
From
very
1990, huh?
To 99.
This is the 90s.
Just
so,
the 90s.
1990 to 1999.
So you need a more specific date range. January 1st, 1990 to December 31st, 1999.
Do you need...
Does not include movies that were limited release submitted so they can be in time for the Oscars.
Well, there goes Schindler's List.
Schindler's List. All right. That's also... Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, because nothing that horrible could ever happen.
That never happened? Wow.
Not in art. No, life is great.
Okay.
So Schindler's List, obviously.
That's one.
I think that's the only one that really qualifies.
Johnny Mnemonic. It's weird.
No, because
that was reality.
I don't think it really counts. That was real. That was really happening.
Okay.
I really feel.
Well, it's true. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, the only fake part was where they ignored the dolphin was on heroin. That was the only fake part of the whole movie.
That's true.
That's
All right.
the only way to keep it.
So you went with Schindler's List.
Schindler's List
is
my answer.
Wow. Well, that's pretty good.
I can read it.
Yeah, I had 12 down, but you know what? I think
You're a dreamer.
I think Les is right. I think I got to give it to you, Schindler's List.
Name 2 that we didn't name.
Here we go. Okay, so here we go.
You can't because we named them all.
You named them all. This list is bullshit. You guys nailed it.
But
you guys nailed it. If you're curious, though, I mean, the list I have, which is clearly wrong, we're again virtual reality central to the plot. Starting chronologically, 1990, Total Recall, 91 Until the End of the World, 92 Lawnmower Man, 93 Arcade, 94 Disclosure.
Wait, what was Disclosure?
Disclosure is it's Michael Douglas.
No,
and Demi
but why
Moore.
is that virtual reality?
Because they're using.
Because he got an email.
No, he's wearing a VR helmet.
Oh, right.
That's
to
right.
search the file
That's
system.
right.
Okay.
With the hands. Again, with the hands to search for faxes.
That might have to be the next
faxes.
movie. That
Looking
might
for
be
faxes. Yeah, that's a good idea. Johnny Mnemonic, 95. Virtuosity, 95. Strange Days, 95. There's 3 in 95.
Yeah.
There you go again. Open Your Eyes, 97. 13th Floor, 99. Existence, 99. Matrix was on this list. I kind of disagree with that, but I guess it is virtual reality.
It kind of is.
So that would be
For the
11
pod
if we
people.
got rid of that. But
Yeah.
there you go.
Wow.
Okay, good work, everybody.
That was,
Thank you,
that
sir.
was
Johnny
that
Mnemonic.
was a lot of homework. That's good.
Les, appreciate it here.
This was fun.
Since, again, millions of listeners here, if there's anything you'd like to share with them, plugs, where they can find you, Twitter handle, Facebook, home address, anything
Facebook,
like that.
White Noise Radio Theater on Facebook, and Les Milton on Facebook.
There you
Is
go.
it R-E or E-R?
It's R-E. Thank you very much.
There you go.
So it's theatre.
Theatre.
Theatre. Very good. Jeff, any closing words here for the good people out there? We're all exhausted. But we hope you enjoyed. Again, follow us on Twitter at JudgingSV. Obviously, you know how to find us. Otherwise, how would you be listening to this?
Virtual reality.
Virtual reality. Find us in your virtual fax machine. So just go ahead and dial that up with your power glove.
Oh, I grabbed the wrong fax. Oh, what's this? It's a podcast.
Facebook fan page there, Judging Silicon Valley. Go ahead, like us. Suggestions for movies that you want us to watch. Again, we're going to be wrapping up here soon before the season 2 starts of Silicon Valley. But thanks for listening. Stay compressed, everybody. Bye.
Thanks, guys.